At the dawn of the first ages, when the sky was still forming and the earth had yet to settle, the god Izanagi returned from his journey to the land of the dead, burdened with shadows. He purified his body with sacred water, and from this cleansing were born three of the greatest deities: Amaterasu, the goddess of the sun, who emerged from his right eye, her radiance flooding the universe with warmth and life; Tsukuyomi, the god of the moon, who came from his left eye, calm and cool like moonlit nights; and Susanoo, the god of the sea and storms, who was born from his nose, wild, fierce, and full of rage and rebellion. From the beginning, Izanagi divided their destinies. Amaterasu would rule the heavens and illuminate all beings with her light. Tsukuyomi would guard the night, and Susanoo would control the seas and the winds. But Susanoo was not satisfied with his share. He felt the sea was a prison, and that he deserved the throne of the heavens like his sister. He screamed, wept, and destroyed whatever stood before him until his father grew weary of him and banished him from the heavens, saying, "Go, you have no place among us anymore." Before his departure, Susanoo wished to see his sister Amaterasu one last time, but she grew suspicious of his visit, fearing he had come to destroy her light. He told her, "No, I want to prove my sincerity. Let us compete not with swords, but with creation. Let us see who can bring forth the greater offspring." She agreed reluctantly. They exchanged sacred objects. Amaterasu took his sword, and Susanoo took her jewel. Amaterasu broke her brother's sword, and from its shards were born three radiant, beautiful deities, as though extensions of her purity. Susanoo, in turn, shattered his sister's jewel, but what came forth were wrathful gods, mirroring his turmoil and dark soul. Amaterasu was declared the victor, yet Susanoo could not accept defeat. Jealousy ignited within him, and he plunged into a frenzy of madness and chaos. He stormed into his sister's palaces, scattered the sacred fields and ruined the crops, tore up the trees consecrated to the gods, polluted the rivers with his reckless fury, and in his most heinous act, he killed a sacred horse and hurled its carcass into the weaving hall where Amaterasu's maidens were at work. The sacred loom shattered, and one maiden died in horror. That moment was the final straw, for Amaterasu, humiliated, dishonored, and overcome with fear, she could endure no more. She withdrew from the heavens and hid herself inside a great cave called Amano Iwato, sealing its entrance with a massive boulder. From the instant she vanished, the universe went dark. The sun no longer rose. The world fell into eternal night. The earth grew cold, the fields withered, the birds fell silent, and humankind wandered in despair. Even the gods themselves trembled, helpless. Hundreds of deities gathered outside the cave, desperate. How do we bring her back? If she remains in darkness, we are all doomed. They tried calling to her, pleading, but only silence answered. Then the goddess of wisdom, Omoikan, stepped forward and said, "She will not return through begging, only through cunning." The plan began. A massive bronze mirror was forged, polished to shine like the sun. They decorated the cave's entrance with brilliant jewels and bright colors. The goddess of dance, Aim no Uzume, mounted a wooden platform and began a strange, wild dance. She exposed her chest and laughed loudly, causing the gods to erupt into laughter and applause around her. The heavens shook with their merriment, and it seemed as though a great festival had begun. Inside the cave, Amaterasu heard the laughter and grew curious. How can they rejoice in utter darkness? What is happening out there? She cautiously approached the entrance and opened it just a crack. When she peeked out, she saw the mirror. Her radiant face reflected back at her, and she thought it was another goddess more brilliant than herself. She leaned forward, slowly stepping outside to see. In that instant, the powerful god Aim no Tajikara seized the boulder and dragged it away from the entrance. The gods rushed forward, grabbed Amaterasu's hand, and prevented her from retreating. At last, Amaterasu emerged, and with her, the light returned. The sun once more blazed across the sky. The earth warmed, life revived, and humankind rejoiced. As for Susanoo, he was punished severely. Banished from the heavens, he was cast down to earth to wander far from his celestial throne. There, his story with the great serpent would one day begin. But that is another tale. And so, from that day on, people understood that the sun may hide behind the clouds, but it never dies. It always returns to shine again.